The New York Rangers and the Washington -37 Capitals are taking each other on in the first round here. There's like a 30-point differential between these teams. The Washington Capitals.
Glad you asked.
So listen, we got to give the Caps credit for being here.
For what?
For being here.
Oh, okay.
They got here.
Okay.
You know what?
You answered the question successfully.
Nobody, even though we called it the Metropolitan, and we were absolutely right to start the year, the Washington Capitals, nobody had them. It's like, if anybody's going to make it, it's got to be like Sidney Crosby or Detroit or whatever.
Yeah.
And I say Sidney Crosby because he's the only player on his team. What do we think of this series? Because I think it's too easy in NHL playoff lore to go 4-0 sweep. Although this seems like an obvious 4-0 sweep. Doesn't it?
No, I 4-0 sweeps are so difficult to pull off. And like, even when they happen, like last year with the Panthers and Hurricanes, you're like, well, even though it was hilarious that Rod Brindamore said it out loud, yeah, it was a close sweep.
He should
have never said it.
The take you should have after getting swept.
He should have never said it. And also, like, oh, the Panthers are going to lose in 3, and then they beat the Bruins in 7. Right? Like that. You all thought I was talking about the Carolina one. No. And after game 1, it looked like they were dead. So anyone can win. Here's what I look at, though. Who's fat and happy? Like, and who's got something to prove? Well, I mean, you got the President's Trophy winning New York Rangers. That's your easy, fat and happy candidate.
Sure,
right?
Yeah.
It's the Caps, I think. They backed in. I mean, they worked hard, but they were 500 in their final 9 games. What was it, 4-4-1?
Last 10, 4-4-2.
4-4-2. So
Yeah.
they were dead 500 in their, well, they won fewer games than they lost over that stretch. The Rangers, despite winning the President's Trophy, got embarrassed last year. They got embarrassed. There was friction that has been alluded to between Artemi Panarin and the coach, whose name I keep forgetting.
Laviolette?
No, other one.
Gerard Gallant?
Gerard Gallant. They had the series. They dominated the Devils through the first 2 games. Not just beat them, dominated them. And they blew it to a rookie goalie who, last I checked, isn't even in the NHL anymore. They have something to prove. What?
He's not.
Jesse, here. Google Map and show me the lie.
You're getting distracted.
No, I'm getting just. But like the Rangers, there are a few teams in the NHL that really disappointed last year and have something to prove. To me, they're chief among them. Like I really expected big things from them, but I don't think I was alone. They blew it against the Devils.
Jesse, what do you think?
Yeah, I think last season for sure it was blown. And this season you go into it, President's Trophy's winners. Your reward is you get to face one of the worst teams to ever make the playoffs. And I don't think this series is going to be close. I think it's 5 games. There are NHL teams. Every NHL team is out there fighting. Any team can win on any given night. But I don't see the Washington have any shot at getting 4 games here against the New York Rangers.
Charlie Lindgren, to me, is an X factor, obviously, because he had a great year for the Washington Capitals. But I think what's going to be interesting is he able to steal a game or two?
Yeah, there's all this, Hart Trophy, Lindgren, he's X Factor, great stuff. In his since March 15th, that's 16 games played, he's a 908.
That's pretty good.
Vezina, guys.
That's pretty good.
Charlie Lindgren Vezina. There's no part of the Capitals that I look at and I say, that's it.
So here's what it is, Adam. Like you say, like the reason you said, can he steal a game is because that's the only way they're going to win games.
Yes.
You said steal 1 or 2. On the high end of that, which is 2, they'd still only be halfway to winning the series.
Well, so here's what I was going to ask. Could you have Ovechkin come in an old man you third game?
That would be like scoring goals, right?
Yeah.
Where the Washington Capitals finished 28th in the league in goals for per game.
That's good, right? It's not
no,
32nd.
No, 28th is not great.
Okay.
And goals against, they'll stop a whole bunch, 16th.
Kreider's an animal. Panarin's an animal. Listen. You're asking me, like, I'm trying to trick myself into being like, here's how the Caps could win. I don't see it.
Yeah. I look at a New York Rangers team who finally got it all together after, because there's, like we talked about, there's been so many hiccups, and I think a lot of that was the lineup shifts that Gallant had going on. That man can't keep anything the steady for more than a week, and it seems like finally everybody's kind of found their place, and I love having Laugh on the second line there. It seems like he's really found his own in the Rangers lineup, and seeing Panarin have one of the most underrated seasons, because there's three guys above him who've been putting up more points, and another guy in Austin Matthews putting up a lot of goals. That his 120 point, 50 goal, 71 assist season is going underrated, and he's been right there amongst one of the best players all season long. And the New York Rangers are humming right now, and I don't see a Washington Capitals team who hasn't done much all season long beating them.
So if there is a positive for Washington to pull out of this series, because I think we're all agreed that New York's got the edge. Living on the edge. Quite literally has the edge. There could be some good experience for guys like Connor McMichael, who have never played in the playoffs before. Rasmus Sandin, when he did play in the playoffs for the Leafs, played in limited roles.
Well, and he got scratched.
Yeah, a lot. There are younger players on this team that could benefit from this. But at the end of the day, everybody's saying New York, right?
I got, are we doing it?
Yeah, we're doing it.
New York in 5.
Jesse.
I will say New York in 4.
Oh,
wow.
Man, it's so easy for a team to lose a couple games.
All right. Washington in how many, Adam?
I think I'm not going to go for Washington as much as I love rooting for a team that's like an underdog. It's great.
Too. I like the Caps.
How do you not like what they pulled off? I'm going to say New York in 5, although part of me wants me to say New York in 6. New York in 5.
Spencer Carberry. This is his chance to make real noise as a head coach in the NHL, because if they make a fight of this, people are going to be looking at him differently.
Right.